I've had these several life-changing spiritual moments in my life. It's not something that happens every week, every month, not even every year. It's like these pivotal moments where God unveils to me radical, life-changing, revealed truth. He illuminates it, not reveals it. It's already revealed, but he illuminates it to me. I'm going through that period afresh now, where it is a painful process, but the result, the outcome, the product is always joy, peace, and spiritual strength. It is the concept that, and before I give you the concept, I want to just throw in parenthetically, oftentimes pain pushes us until vision pulls us. So much of the revealed truth that God illuminates to us comes out of pain. We don't want it, the pain that is, but the pain becomes a necessary joy for the ultimate fulfillment of divine truth. And so ultimately what this message is, this revealed truth is that God is sharing essentially is that prayer is the transformation of the prayer, not the alteration of the provider. Let me put it this way. Essentially, that prayer is not what we persuade God to do. Prayer is us altering our perspectives to what God already desires to do. It is not us bending His will to match our wish. It is us blending our desire to match His design. So then, what is your subconscious mind saying? Psychologists say we think on average about 60,000 thoughts per day. The mind is an incredible computer. But here is the problem. We typically think essentially the same thoughts every day. And we can determine the value of our thoughts based on outcomes and results, such as if your thoughts bring you to worry, unnecessary worry, and stress, depression, and ultimately dis-ease, those are toxic thoughts. Now, of course, if you have a child that's out and supposed to be home at a certain time and they are a couple of hours late, they're not answering their cell phones, you can't locate them, that's a normal worry. And that worry triggers you to activate a response. But the kind of toxic worry that I make reference to is when you are, acronym for fear, allowing false evidence to appear real. I had an instance recently where I was praying. I was sleepy, but I was praying. And because I was sleepy, my mind wouldn't stay focused. And every time I would catch myself realizing that I had lost focus, my mind had gone to something negative. What if so-and-so is up to this? What did they mean when they did such and such? Were they really being facetious? And I found out that my subconscious thoughts were pulling me down, which means they were toxic. And my subconscious thoughts actually, and your subconscious thoughts, are actually your prayers. So we get information from our conscious thought. For instance, conscious thought, it's a sunny day. Now my subconscious is fed how that information should be processed. I may say, it's a sunny day, beautiful day to be outside. And so the sunny day, therefore, stimulates me, excites me. Or I could say, it's a sunny day, it's too hot to be outside. And therefore, the same information is processed in a way that says, be lethargic. And so it is not so much the information, but how I process the information. And so if I process it in a toxic and negative way, then my reality becomes toxic and negative, even though it is not because of life, it is because of how I'm processing life. And so I've said many times before that history is cyclical. And so until we change, nothing for us will change. The miracle is not something that happens to us, it's something that happens in us. And so I close on this note. That woman with the very issue of blood, Matthew chapter 9, beginning at verse 20, she reasoned within herself. She had an issue of blood for 12 long years. She'd gone from doctor to doctor, spent all her money trying to get help. Because she was looking for someone outside of her to help her. That man who had a boy who brought his son to Jesus, his disciples, and said they couldn't help him. This man had been looking for assistance outside of himself. Oh God, this is powerful. He had brought his son to religious leaders. He'd brought him to disciples. Nobody could help him. And so finally when Jesus arrives, he was like, look, I haven't brought him to your disciples. They couldn't help him. And so he says to Jesus, if you can do anything, please have some mercy on us. And Jesus cuts him off and says, no, brother, no. If you can believe, all things are possible to them that believe. To this woman with the issue of blood, she had been going from doctor to doctor looking for some assistance. And then she reasoned within herself, if I could touch the hem of his garment, then I'll be made whole. She touched his garment, but she still wasn't made whole. She was just physically healed. She did something and it changed her condition, but it still didn't get the ultimate result she was seeking. And the master said to her, first, he queried, who touched me? And then later, as she finally acknowledges her guilt of touching him, Jesus says, it's not your touch, it's your faith that has made you whole. Go in peace. And so what Jesus is saying essentially to her is, the answer is not outside of you, it's inside of you. If you will get your faith right, wholeness is for you if your faith is right. So be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, your miracle, your breakthrough, your blessing, your victory, all these words that are hurled out repeatedly, whatever word you choose, all of the above if you choose, even your salvation is not outside of you. It's inside of you. It's not happening to you. It's happening within you. If you change, everything else for you will change.